Hi students, it's Miss Mendez. Okay, so the last time we were here, we were talking about the different parts of a letter, right? So we were learning about the different letter parts like the date, the greeting, body, closing, signature, and things like that. Today we're going to be talking about a special type of letter, and this letter is called a persuasive letter. And when you are writing persuasive letters, you are trying to persuade someone. Okay? So persuade means to convince them or to tell them how you're feeling, your opinion. Okay? So again, persuade means to tell someone you're feeling, and usually you're trying to convince them of something or change their mind about something. Okay? So let's go ahead and clap out persuade 3 times. Here we go. Persuade. Again, ready? Persuade. And one more time. Persuade. Okay. Persuade. So when we're writing persuasive letters, we are trying to persuade someone or convince them and change their mind. And guess what? Kids are super duper good at persuading. They persuade so many different people. And a lot of you guys are probably going to agree with me and do some of this connections when you hear about some of the ideas I have. So one way that you can persuade, one type of letter or a letter topic that you can write is some kids like to write a letter to their parents to persuade them to stay up past their bedtime. Or you can write a letter to persuade your mom and dad to buy you a Nintendo Switch for your birthday. You might persuade your family to order pizza for dinner instead of cooking dinner, okay? But you don't just write letters to persuade to your families. You can write letters to persuade someone to different people. You can write them to friends. You could even write them to teachers. Sometimes students might write a persuasive letter to their teacher if they want more, maybe some more tech time. Can I get one of these if you agree with that? They might write a persuasive letter to their teacher if they want more PE time. Yeah. Okay, so persuasive letters are very important because they're a way to get someone to agree with us or to convince someone to change their mind about something. So today we're going to be working on a persuasive letter together so that you can see the different steps that go into it, okay? So let's go ahead and get started on this persuasive letter. I'm sure you're probably thinking of a lot of persuasive letters like, ooh, I can write a persuasive letter to my mom about this. Or I could write a persuasive letter to Miss Mendez telling her that I want to sit next to my best friend. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Hopefully this works. Give me a second. Okay, so I am hoping that you can see this. All right, so my topic, thank you guys for waiting. Today my topic is at the top. So it says topic, choose one. Class pet or No class pet. Let's see. What am I going to choose? Well, I know that I really do love pets, but it's a little bit different when you have them in the class with you. So I know what I'm going to pick. Okay, I'm going to pick no class pet. Okay, so let's get started. I already made my choice. I know what I'm going to write my letter about. My persuasive letter is going to be about no class pet. So I'm going to try to convince my reader that we should not have a class pet. Go like this if you agree. Go like this if you do not agree with me. Okay, so let's start with the date. The date today is 5/28/20. It's May 28th, 2020. Dear, now, I am actually writing this to my students because sometimes my students ask for a class pet and they think that's a good idea. But you know what? I am starting to think maybe it's not. So I'm going to write them a letter to persuade them, to make my students believe and convince them that it's not a good idea. Okay, so here we go. Dear students, dear students, in my opinion, I think, okay, so here I have to tell you my opinion. I have to start my letter by telling you what I think. In my opinion, I think we should not have a class pet. Okay, now the next part, I have to give a reason. So maybe my students are going to be mad. Maybe you guys are going to be upset. Like, Miss Mendez, what? How dare you? Why would you say that to us? Well, I need to give you guys a good reason, right? So, one reason is pets use the restroom and stink up the class. That's a good reason. That's a good reason. Okay, now I have to give another reason because I'm really trying to convince you guys. In my letter, I'm really trying to explain why it's not a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to say also some class pets are very noisy. Ooh, we don't want that. Okay. Then I have to end it. And the way I'm going to end it is I'm going to remind the reader what my opinion is. I'm going to tell them again how I feel so that they don't forget. Okay. So for my ending, I'm going to say, so please, hmm, hmm, hmm. So please do not ask for a stinky class pet. And I put an exclamation mark because I have a lot of feeling for that sentence. So please do not ask for a stinky class pet. Okay, now for my closing, that's how I'm gonna end my letter to you. And remember, I wrote it to my students. So this is me talking to my students, right? So for my closing, I'm gonna say, your teacher, because I'm your teacher. So I'm gonna say, your teacher. And then in the last part is my signature. I put my name, okay? Miss Mendez. And that's my persuasive letter to you. So now I am going to read the whole thing all together so we can see what it sounds like. May 28th, 2020. Dear students, in my opinion, I think we should not have a class pet. One reason is pets use the restroom and stink up the class. Also, some class pets are very noisy. So please do not ask for a stinky class pet. Your teacher, Miss Mendez. Okay, so for today's assignment, your job is to try to convince me to get a class pet. So you're gonna write me a letter and you're gonna tell me why you think we should have a class pet. And you're gonna give me 2 reasons why you think it would be a good idea to have a class pet, okay? So this is a persuasive, let's see, let me finish here. And okay, let's see. Not sure how to do that. Okay, there we go. So that was a persuasive letter. Remember, the word is persuade, and we want to try to convince someone or change their thinking about something. Okay? So thanks for watching our persuasive letter video, and have fun writing your persuasive letters. Bye.